Hey guys, and welcome to the Nodachi guide for Season 8. Let's get right into it. Now, the main thing that changed for basically every class this season is the runes, how we use them, and what the effects are on the individual heroes. And particularly for Nodachi, they did change it, like, drastically. As you guys may already know, they did take away the CC resist rune that basically made you invulnerable to any attacks that would knock you down aside from ultimates for 3 seconds, which was really lovely, especially when you combined the Fearless and Steadfast skill, which was the skill that gave you that effect. It was really OP when you combined it with Bloodbath, which basically meant that you could have 6 seconds of CC resist. So this season they did take that away. Most people are saying that they buffed Nodachi even more than it was last season, but I really disagree with that. Like, being a class that can just resist CC, especially with the ultimates being so easily disturbed, I think that was really a huge part going for Nodachi, and it really did, for me personally at least, drastically change the way I had to play the class in the new season, especially before I even got to the new runes, the important ones, let's say. So yeah, but that's just my opinion. If you agree with me, share your opinion in the comments. I would love to see what you think about the new runes and how you compare them to the runes from the season before. Okay, now let's get right into the runes that are available for the Nodachi this season. You basically have two big runes. I'd say you got 5 slots now in your weapons, and you can only choose one of each, I guess, because they're both 3 slotted. So the first one we're going to be talking about is Vanquishing, which does 50% of health gained from life drain is converted into damage and dealt against your enemy. Now, I have tested this, and if you are going to run Nodachi full toughness, this rune is really useless for you. Like, the other rune Exhibition does so much more for you, especially because your health percentage is way more balanced to actually be useful to the rune. Vanquishing, I'd only really suggest to people that are gods at Nodachi, that are running full strength, that have their own, kind of particular playstyle for the class. That's just so they deal that extra amount of damage. I have been running Nodachi full strength this season just to see how it feels like, especially because you don't have the CC resist anymore. You kind of have to go in and out all the time, way more than you did last season. So yeah, Vanquishing I would only suggest to the people that really know how to play the class, or maybe even to the people that wanna experience going Nodachi full strength with this rune. Because if you use Dragon's Leap, and if you convert 50% of that life drain you get from one hero, that is substantial. It definitely makes a difference, but as I said before, it's really high skill based, and you're not gonna have room to do an oops. If you get knocked down, if you get pinned down by even one good hero, you are gonna probably die if he counters your CC resists. Now, the main rune that I would like to talk about is actually there are 2 runes. Like, the 2-slotted rune is also a good one, but first let's stick to this one. Exhibition. It is a very good rune, especially for Nodachi, because meta-wise you are supposed to play it full toughness. And if you use this rune, like when you reach, if you have, let's say, 34,000 health, which you can get in this season, when you reach 50%, that is 17,000 health. You are going to take 12% less damage. Plus, on top of that, if you have Bloodbath activated, you're going to take 20% less damage, which means you're taking 23% less damage at 50% health. If you do manage to fall down to 25%, you get an extra 12% damage resist, which means you're running 44% damage resist. Now, if they would put this on any other class, I really doubt it would be as effective as on Nodachi, because Nodachi regains life slowly, depending on how much damage you do and if you actually use avalanche. But if you get down to 25% and you take 44% less damage, that gives you significant more amounts of time to regain that health, to actually just, you know, like the lower you get, like the more health you can get. Like, and I've also noticed this in duels, like you will still dominate in duels as a Nodachi because you just keep them on the floor. Now the third Nodachi specific rune that I'm going to be talking about, and actually the last one, is going to be Purity. This is a really OP rune, like really it's OP to almost ridiculous amounts, because every time you kill or help kill one hero or kill 3 soldiers, let's say, you get 1 stack of Bloodlust, which basically means you're gonna be like full-time Bloodlust, especially if you run Blood Oath. As soon as it runs out, it's just gonna refresh, and that's really good because Bloodbath is the main thing going for Nodachi. It offers you a massive speed boost, a massive life drain boost, and a massive damage resistance boost. And really, if you don't have Bloodbath activated, you really shouldn't be putting yourself in dangerous situations, because you're gonna be really 15% altogether less effective. So that is a very good rune. Like Dog Purity, you absolutely have to have it. There's no question about it. Have it. You just have to choose between Vanquishing and Exhibition. And personally, I would really recommend Exhibition, because it's just like Vanquishing is really hard. It's really hard. If you play with a team, yes, maybe it's gonna be easier with you, but if you're a preferably solo player or just play alone most of the time, Dog Exhibition is going to save your life many times. Okay, now let's get to the head runes that I personally use. Now, keep in mind, you can differ from this. There is no, like, it just depends on your playstyle, honestly. But I'm gonna show mine in case you're interested, so let's dive into it. Now, first I'd like to say, like, basically all of the +7 points runes, meaning +7 toughness, armor, agility, yada yada yada. I honestly think every class should be using that, except if you have like a really good reason, because +7 points does a lot to you. Doesn't matter on which class, either it's armor, agility, toughness, strength. It's gonna help you out a lot. I think that's crazy. 7 points for only 1 slot. It's the same value as the increased strength and toughness by 2 points, which actually only makes 4 points. To be honest, like increasing an attribute for 7 points should kind of be a 2-slot rune, but that doesn't matter. Thank God they made it a 1-slot rune. That makes it way more easier for us. So just remember, you use the 7-point runes. For the head helmet, I use increased toughness by 7 points, increased strength and toughness by 2 points, and increased critical value by 30 points. You could choose Conciliation over the increased critical value based on your playstyle. If you know you do a lot of critical, then go for it, stick with it. But if not, you can also choose this one. I chose this one just because it's only 1 slot. You could also go, if you are playing full toughness, you could also go for the increased health by 3%. Remember, if you have 34,000%, that is almost 1,000+% that you get from that. And after you die, your allies will recover 8% of their HP. So that's a very good helping rune. That's also good for you because you are toughness focused. But I just went for strength and toughness and also critical value, because I ran these runes with the full strength build and I really liked how they did that extra damage, which Nodachi really needs. But as I said, that's all up to you, like which runes you go for. This is just the ones that I am currently using. For the armor, I went for the increases max health by 300 and all defenses by 10 points. Of course, because Nodachi is squishy, all defense and HP that you can get is going to help you out a lot. Increases strength and toughness by 2 points and increased armor by 7 points. Now you may be thinking that you should go for the Azure Dragon Ambition that reduces damage taken by 3%, but 3%, if a hero deals 1000 damage to you and you take 3% away from that, that's only gonna be 30 damage for a 2-slot rune. Like, honestly, I think this rune is completely useless because you can get way more protection by increasing your max health by 300 and all defenses by 10 points. I think that's like a no-brainer, and plus this rune is a 1 slot compared to the other one which has 2 slots. You could also go for the increased critical defense by 220 points depending on your playstyle, as I always say. Or you could also go for the Azure Dragon Sentry, which while on a capture point your damage taken decreases by 10%. Now this is good when you are on a capture point, because that means you're gonna get 45% less damage when you are going to be at 25% HP, which is awesome. It's ridiculous for a medium class. But it takes 2 slots, which means it's gonna take away your 300 HP, your 10 defenses in all points, and your strength and toughness by 2 points. And it's only going to be useful when you're actually going to be on a capture point, not dead. So that for me is kind of a, you know, really situational rune. Like, I like to have runes that are going to help me out throughout the game all the time, not just in specific situations, because I just think that just raises your overall effectiveness and your ranking in the game. Okay, now let's go for the boots. Yes, they are blue. I'm not having luck in the reconditioning. Healing while moving. Now this rune is kind of a costly one. It takes 2 slots and it increases your bandage cooldown by 15 seconds. Like, for Nodachi, I honestly think this isn't such a big deal, because when you are going to heal, you're rarely going to heal if you are a good player. Like, honestly, if there's a big engagement, if I want to heal, I just move to the sides, smash units for 5 seconds, and I'm already full HP. Like, you are only going to be healing when you are defeated, your blob got destroyed, you're running away. So healing while moving for Nodachi I think is really useful, because particularly if you are running away from an engagement, you can't heal up while you're running, even when you are sprinting. And often wise, that can very well save your life. So honestly, I personally think the rune is worth it for the 2 slots and 15 seconds increase. However, for other classes, I definitely can't say it's worth it, because maybe they heal more, maybe they don't, that 15-second increase in cooldown really hurts them, makes them go out of combat for longer, or there is just a better rune that they could use for the 2 slots. Again, for the Vermilion Bird Breeze, I wouldn't suggest it, because yes, your stamina recovery is increased by 20%. Like, I think this rune would be worthwhile if it would be 50%, because you are in a capture point, and if you are defending it, you have to be fast, you have to be moving around all the time, especially if you are suiciding for it. And again, 2 slots for a rune that's only gonna give you a stamina recovery boost when you are on a capture point. I really don't. I would rather take healing for any other class. Like, it doesn't matter which class, I would rather take the healing rune. Movement speed is increased by 4%. I have used this rune. I thought it's gonna be really effective, especially at chasing down heroes. Probably it's not as effective for Nodachi, because you already get the speed boost with Bloodbath. But honestly, even in a normal state, I didn't really notice a huge actually any difference at all. It may be that this rune is bugged or is not working, or maybe I just had bad luck with them. Anyway, if you want to, you can experiment with it. If it works for you, awesome, you can chase down heroes faster and have a way easier time at securing kills. Vermilion Bird reduces fall damage by 30%. Now, you know, if you want to use this rune, if you are that type of hero that climbs walls with berserkers and decides to jump down, if you're unsuccessful, go for it, go for the 100%. It's probably gonna save your life a lot of times, if the hero that is chasing you, of course, isn't musket, shortbow, or longbow. So those are my runes. Healing can be performed while moving. Cooldown increases by 15 seconds. Increases agility by 7 points as well. Now let's go down to the last one, which are the gloves. Again, really similar to the helmet runes. You got 3 runes that all want only 1 slot and are really good. Again, if you are a highly specified hero, you can have the 2 slot runes if you are using them. Particularly here, you have for Nodachi, each time you kill 5 enemy soldiers, your damage dealt increases by 10% for 10 seconds. That's awesome. That's really good, depending again on your playstyle. 10% is nothing to joke about. It's a huge damage boost, especially if you are running full strength, because if you're running full strength, you are doing 2200 slashing damage, which is really nice. And if you add 10% more to that, after you of course kill 5 enemy soldiers, you're going to be doing 2420 slashing damage. I personally don't go for it because, as I said before, I think just having the rune that takes 1 slot and increases all damage by 30 kind of outweighs the 2-slot rune, which is only when you kill 5 enemy soldiers and you do 10% more damage for 10 seconds. Like, for me personally, this is a no-brainer, but it could be different for you, and if it is, go for that rune. I encourage you, be diverse and play your class as you want to play it, not as someone else tells you to play it. White Tiger Exacting increases damage dealt by 3% after death. Nearby allies will deal 10% more damage for 10 seconds. Again, same as the last rune, it's only 3%. It is all you do 3% all the time, but I just think increases all damage by 30 is a way better way to go, especially if you aren't running full strength. Then you have White Tiger Beheading. Each time you kill 1 enemy hero, your damage dealt increases by 10% for 10 seconds. White Tiger Hazard. While on a capture point, your damage dealt increases by 10%. Now, if you're using the previous rune we were talking about, the stamina increased rune, it makes a lot of sense that you use this rune as well when you are in a capture point, if you do focus on defending or attacking capture points, which you should, of course. But this is my setup for the gloves, which is increases all damage by 30, increases strength by 7 points, and increases strength and toughness by 2 points. Now that is it for the runes. Here you can see my current full strength build, the 2200 slashing damage. I am going to be changing back to full toughness. The only reason I played Nodachi as this is because I wanted to experiment. It's a new season, like you have to go through all different attributes again to actually get a good feel on how the class is performing in this season. So that is the only reason you are seeing full strength right here. You should go full toughness, which is this. Look, I'm even gonna do it now. Free reset. You should go full toughness like this. That's my advice to you. If you want to, especially if you're learning Nodachi, new to it, even if you're intermediate to it, don't change to full strength if you don't have the option of changing back to toughness. Like if you're gonna have to wait an entire freaking week, because I did that and boy, I had to like play the class completely differently than I am used to for an entire week. So just do that, go full toughness. I guarantee you, you're not gonna have a bad time with Nodachi. Skill-wise, I actually personally switched from Bloodbath because I think the buffs that Nodachi got is going to enable you to get Bloodbath fast enough. Yes, the 20% boost on damage is really good for 9 seconds. You can definitely combine it with your ulti Dragon's Leap or let's say Avalanche. However, I would really like to say Avalanche, since they took away the rune that made you resist knockdowns. Avalanche is useless to me, honestly. It was really a good way to kind of get a second wind in season 7, but it just completely lost all of its usefulness for me personally. On the other hand, I would also like to say they finally fixed the life drain for Dragon's Leap, which means if you use the skill now, if you ulti on hero units, whatever, you are going to get health from that, which is amazing. It was about time. I did some tests. If you ulti a heavy hero, you are going to get, let's say, like from 1000 to 1500 HP from that, which is significantly less than you would get from Avalanche, because Avalanche, if you're running full toughness, it's going to recover 3% of your maximum health every time you hit an enemy. So if you are in a blob of troops, let's say, you're going to be max HP. Like that's the ultimate that you're going to use to get max HP back up. It is a very good skill to use. Just for me personally, the skill kinda lost its effectiveness because of the CC resist rune going away. This is my current setup. I use Tiger's Claw on Q because it does actually the most damage of all of the skills. It does 130% of your slashing damage plus 1885%, which is like, I think 30% more than any other skill does damage. That is the main reason I am using it. It's also very well combined with Bloodthirsty because you knock the hero down and you do the Tiger's Claw on him. That enables you to do more damage than you could do in the previous season by using Fearless and Steadfast, and you regain 1200 health for each hit you manage to land. So that is my standard combination when I am hunting for heroes. Fearless and Steadfast I am using just for the CC resist because it can recover you from everything. It can recover from dazed, knockdown and concussed. It also has a very fast cooldown, especially compared to the Tiger's Claw, which enables you to do that extra % more damage to units or heroes when you are in combat. Now Dragon's Leap, as I said before, I'm using it because for me personally it has way more tactical abilities. Like, it is good against heroes, it will knock them down. You can charge an ulti against a push that is coming from you, and if all 5 heroes are at the front, you're going to knock all of them down, all of their units down, everything is just gonna fall down. I think Nodachi is really overlooked, especially this ultimate, because this ultimate is really effective at breaking down shield formations. Like, they will not stand in stalwarts, nothing is gonna be able to hold off the Nodachi charge, not even Forte Brachio. Like, Forte Brachio pikemen are just noped when Nodachi comes. That's really good if you take Zerkers with you. You charge your ulti, you knock them down, and you charge them in, and you're going to just delete the entire unit. That's all for me, guys. Hope this helps. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments below. I am going to answer them as fast as I can. Leave me a like if you liked the video, subscribe if you want to see more, and as always, I'll see you next time.
I want your devotion, all your emotions in my hand. I want your obsession, every affection.